Ethereum Scaling. We need to talk more about it because as I create more content questioning the rollups, the faster they seem to be moving. First video this week questioning them. Same week we get the final phase of the optimistic Ethereum testnet, and then video 2 days ago questioning them once again, a tad bit deeper, but then security drill was completed and the team Optimistic even did a Twitch live stream. So let's question again and get some more movement because it's time for Chico Crypto. So, to begin, according to Optimism's own roadmap published a few months ago, things currently aren't happening the way they were supposed to. As we can see, Integrate Synthetix is supposed to happen within the limited testnet into the launch of the full testnet. Okay, great, but then they had their own specific Synthetix network roadmap, and it went Phase A, B, security drill, then Phase C. Well, Phase C for Synthetix for some reason went before the security drill. As we can see, Synthetix tweeted that the third C phase was beginning December 3rd, and the security drill was completed 3 days ago on the 20th.
Everything's under control, situation normal.
What happened?
So that doesn't make sense, but there may be nothing to that. Although, going back to the main roadmap, 2 other dApps are supposed to be integrated with the testnet. They're early supporters, which in their blog posts they show are Chainlink and Uniswap. Unfortunately, we haven't heard anything from either of them regarding their work on Rollups. But now it's time to go back in history to the present and bring up some more serious questions. My 2 previous videos brought up all the connections between Vitalik, Joseph Poon, Amisego, Jinglan Wang, MIT, early Bitcoin clubs, the Lightning Network, Plasma, and Optimistic Rollups. So let's go deeper, beginning with Joseph Poon, co-author of both the Lightning Network paper and the Plasma paper. So Poon, what happened to him? Well, in late 2018, October to be exact, his new project was announced. The Hashed podcast covered it, and it's called Handshake. What's interesting is what he said in that Hashed interview. Later, I co-founded a startup called Lightning Labs. Most recently, I co-authored the Plasma paper with Vitalik, and it is becoming an emerging collaborative group with a bunch of awesome people. For a while within the cryptocurrency space, my principal interest has been scalability. I think a lot of scalability problems are going to be resolved probably in the next year. Right now, my research area is around coordination mechanisms. So, he said in October of 2018, scalability would be solved in about a year. False. And the co-creator of Plasma wasn't even continuing research into it when it wasn't completed. Does that make sense? No, it does not. But who else is behind Handshake besides Joseph Poon and co-creator Andrew Lee? Well, remember in my video 2 days ago when Jinglan was supporting Interledger over Plasma in 2018. Well, she also said in that paragraph she was excited about a dope arse decentralized naming service, aka Handshake. Well, Jinglan, she joined them September of 2018, wearing a Handshake t-shirt and giving a presentation on hash time lock contracts from Joseph Poon at an Ethereum conference, which is confirmed also her Handshake involvement by her multiple online profiles. But she didn't spend long there, like only months, and in my opinion, she was reassigned to the Plasma group.
If I let you know where I'm going, I won't be on holiday.
But obviously from this, the connections get deeper. I wonder who else is connected to Handshake, like providing them money. Well, FOMO Hunt did a profile on the project. Now at the bottom, they get into the ICO. It says the list of notable sponsors include Paul Veredidikit, Roger Ver, Jun Hasegawa, Fred Ursum, and Michael Ma. Well, if you didn't know from my previous videos, Joseph Poon was the one that brought Vitalik along with him as an advisor for Amisego. There are the 3 together, including Jun Hasegawa, CEO of then Amisego, who was the one who tweeted the photo. Now Jun is also invested in Poon's Handshake. But the other muy interesting person is Fred Ursum, Coinbase co-founder and now co-founder of Paradigm, the crypto venture arm who has supported and invested in Jinglan and Optimism PBC, and all the big Ethereum dApps looking to use rollups, including Synthetix and Uniswap. Handshake, Optimism, Ethereum dApps, the big ones, but we can also see he's a lead investor in Namespace. And scrolling up, it describes itself as, we didn't create Handshake, but just like you are, we are directors of Handshake. And below, Namespace's goal is to make Handshake easy to use to enable mass adoption. Now, Handshake, it has been moving. Active Twitter, active Namespace, and browsers being built around it. But my question is, what happened to Joseph Poon? Last time Poon tweeted was around the launch of Handshake, August and September of 2018. It's been over 2 years of silence from Poon, which doesn't make sense. He's the author of Lightning. He's the author of Plasma. He created Handshake. Where did he go? You would think you would still want the creator around, as optimistic rollups from their most recent blog post title are in fraud-proof security drills, which if you read into his authored Plasma Cash white paper, this construction is achieved by composing smart contracts on the main blockchain using fraud proofs, whereby state transitions can be enforced on a parent blockchain. Oh, so similar, rollups and Plasma, yet Poon isn't helping? Well, Poon ain't, but Handshake is. Like I said, many connections. You dive into the GitHub of Optimism and their V2 contracts. You can see who is working on the code. And there is a Tynes. Clicking into his profile, we can see Tynes also works on Handshake. And his LinkedIn shows you as a core dev of Handshake from March of 2020 to August before moving on to Optimism PBC. Now let's move another level deeper, back to Paradigm, led by Fred Ursum and Matt Huang. They are connected to a lot: Optimism, PBC, Jing, Handshake, Poon, those using rollups to scale, Uniswap, and Synthetix. But like mentioned in what I ended Monday's video off with, their Paradigm is also invested in Tendermint, the Cosmos creator. Now here's what I find oh so quinkadinkle about that. Matt Huang, in August of 2020, same exact month when they brought over Tynes to Optimism PBC from Handshake, tweeted this: Charlie Noyes got into Bitcoin at age 11 and joined us at Paradigm at 19. This podcast is a short 90-minute peek into his brilliance on DeFi, Ethereum, Cosmos, Bitcoin, etc. Huang mentioning Cosmos by name. Obviously, he's the one bullish on it. But let's listen to what Charlie had to say regarding Ethereum scaling just a few short months ago, as it's important. He's part of the core Paradigm team.
So to my earlier point that this is something Vitalik's been talking about a lot, I think I can show you guys the links afterwards to include, but he has some great comments deep in Twitter replies and on a couple of Medium posts about potential solutions. And I think something that people are not broadly aware of is like how bad this problem could be, in the sense that the solutions, at least those that we currently imagine, are like kind of a radical departure from what Ethereum looks like today. And, you know, it's so I think the point here is both that this is kind of becoming more and more of an urgent problem, and like the solutions, you know, some combination of proof of stake and everything going on to rollups, which I can get into more, are like a very kind of radical departure from what Ethereum currently looks like. And especially considering the timeline to ETH 2.0, or how long, like it seems like, at least to me, it will probably take the DeFi ecosystem to migrate. Like, I think this is the problem that anybody who wants to see Ethereum succeed long term should like be concerned about.
Well, that did not sound good in August whatsoever regarding rollups, which Charlie should know much about. Paradigm invested in Optimism PBC, and this was after they got George Hotz to fix the compiler. But Ryan of Bankless also asked Charlie about Paradigm's other investment, Cosmos. Let's listen in to the full question and answer. It's a tad bit longer, but you don't want to miss a lick of it.
But let me ask you a question about alternative base layers. So Cosmos, for example, that is a Tendermint anyway, is a Paradigm investment. But I want your personal take on this. Cosmos is very clear that atoms, the token behind the Cosmos network, are not money, never intended to be money. Inflation schedule and such also sort of makes that true. Protocol validators can vote on issuance. Lots of things make that true. Can it exist as a base layer without becoming money? I think what you just said about MEV and other approaches might mean you think it can. You think a Cosmos is viable without atoms being money.
Yeah, I think I'm going to walk back a little bit to the Ethereum case first and say my belief is that Ethereum can work if Ether is money and can socialize like a sufficient security budget for the platform, right? Like I think that's a necessary component. But to be honest, I don't know that that's necessarily enough, or that it's not the case that sort of parasitic application incentives like compound on one another to the point where it doesn't matter. The monetary premium doesn't matter. It's still overridden by sort of the asymptotic MEV behavior of the platform. So, I think that's kind of like a contentious statement.
Oh, shiznit, yeah, that's contentious. Optimism PBC investor from Paradigm saying it might not work out. Let's continue.
I don't think that it's the obvious conclusion, the obvious logical conclusion. I think it's very possible that Ethereum does work and remains secure, economically secure long term. And that's my hope. But I also believe like it's possible that it doesn't. And so what alternatives at that point seem credible?
And is that where a Cosmos and atoms kind of, fit in? They're not trying to be money, but, they could develop some sort of premium outside of like some sort of economic security outside of being a store of value.
Exactly. Yeah. And so the sort of Cosmos holistic thesis, maybe not specific to atoms, although, we could talk about sort of the hub, the Cosmos zone that they secure, sort of their specific dynamics. But the Cosmos thesis as a whole is that, like, in short, if we figure out that we can't socialize the security of a general smart contract platform by diluting a monetary premium, then every application may need to pay for its own security. And if every application needs to pay for its own security, then like what's important to interoperability is shared standards, shared languages, and like the ability to interoperate and for a comparable smart contract ecosystem to develop without relying on the homogeneous security of a shared base platform. And so what Cosmos is not any one blockchain, but rather basically like a set of standards by which to create many of them and like allow them to interoperate without needing to share security.
Now here's my question. Cosmos had a major Ethereum project on it, going to build their own chain, Aragon, back in October of 2019. Cosmos tweeted, Aragon chain, planned to be built with Ethermint and powered by Tendermint. Then, a year later, October 2020, Aragon dropped the Aragon chain plans and said they would be focusing on off-chain solutions, still using Ethermint as there was monetary ties, but also XDAI. Obviously, they are going to drop the Cosmos plans, but now, why would they do that? Well, something didn't work out, and Cosmos may not be it either. But Cosmos, they're coming no matter what, my friends. Ethermint, it's coming even though Aragon, who helped fund it, is moving away. November 5th, they put out this blog post, The Road to Ethermint, and they said when it's going live. In Q1 of 2021, ChainSafe plans to launch an incentivized testnet, the Game of Ethermint. This will be the last major milestone before the mainnet launch, which will run the Game of Ethermint for as long as it takes to be certain that the network is completely secure and everything runs exactly as it should. At this point, we will announce the Ethermint Genesis event and then launch Ethermint as a fully productionized Cosmos zone. So Paradigm has one finger in the side of Cosmos, a pure competitor to Ethereum 2.0, while Paradigm also has a finger in the side of optimistic rollups and major Ethereum dApps using it to scale. I would say a conflict of interest, but you make your own conclusions on what's going on. Cheers, I'll see you next time.